Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. You know, earlier this week, I witnessed something that was so beautiful, so wonderful, it merits talking about. And it happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know, you get some negative things coming out of Wisconsin a lot of times, especially if you're political. But it did not matter. Just a day or two ago, I saw an event take place where they had 17,000 people inside of an arena. And on the outside of the arena, they had 61,000 individuals who assembled themselves together for one purpose. People who woke up that morning or went to bed the night before as racists, bigots, haters, and just lovers and sympathizers, all walks of life. But they assembled on this particular day, at this particular hour, for this particular event. And they all put all of their prejudices aside, everything. And one thing stood out. And what was that? Victory. They all wanted victory. They wanted the trophy. They wanted what had never happened probably in many of their lifetimes. 50 years had never happened in their lifetimes. They wanted to see it happen. And by George, they were there. And one thing on their mind. I mean, you probably had Donald Trump people standing beside Biden people, or the Democrats and Republicans and haters and lovers all standing beside them, and you couldn't tell them apart. You couldn't tell them apart. One thing on their mind, victory. And when that last basket was thrown, victory took place. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The victory. You think they woke up the next morning thinking about their prejudices? No, not the next morning. They were still excited. I mean, this was overwhelming. And for several days, I'm sure to come, they're going to be just wiped out. But then after that, then other stuff is going to sit back in. But I mentioned that to you, ladies and gentlemen, because the one thing that they were all seeking was victory. And they stood together as you could suppose you would see Americans standing together. If it was a situation that's dealing with a challenging situation with China, you would see, I believe that Americans would stand together like that. And I'm sure they would. Or if it was something dealing with Russia or any nation in a challenging way, I'm sure all Americans would stand up faithfully behind America. Give it all they got. But wouldn't it be absolutely great if all Americans could stand up for one another in the same likeness, in the same kind of way, rooting for one another, rooting that everybody was thrilled, rooting for victory, that everybody is satisfied. And this is a unique kind of thing, you know, because at one time, everybody was winning for that particular victory in the basketball game. But this, in a sense, is similar to the same kind of thing. Success for the victory of individuals in their life. And ladies and gentlemen, it seems to me, since I spent a lot of time thinking about this, that one of the easier ways is in recognizing and respecting individuals as unique gifts, as unique angels that brought something to this earth to give to the process. And as we become adults, we've been taught by our parents, we've been taught by the systems that have been set up before us. And even when we find out that perhaps the systems haven't been fair with us, when we discover that they haven't, then we fix it. We do not ignore it. We learn what we were denied, so it can help us to see clearer as we go forward. And this, my friends, allows every individual to express themselves and the gifts that they got. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you got something that you want to do. Can you imagine sitting at home all the time doing nothing? Well, I'm sure many of you can think of that for about a week or so. But after a week or so, you're ready to get busy. You're ready to do something. But wouldn't it be magnificent to be able to go back and do what you love doing? With that which the moment you stopped doing it, you became bored. Now you can get back to it. And think about it, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of enjoyment in what you're doing. And now you can truly laugh because you're getting paid, but you're not being restricted by a money amount. No, you're being paid in the fact that you will never have to worry about food, clothing, or shelter. This you will never have to worry about because you got access to it as you needed, wanted, or desired, every last one of you. Not only that, you get other benefits. You got access to education, unlimited and unrestricted. Yes, to aid you to be the best that you can possibly be so you can shine like the sun every day and relax like the moon at night. I'm telling you, this is absolutely beautiful. But that is not all. What about health care from the womb to the tomb? The best. This, my friend, is what you are entitled to. And the resources outside of yourselves necessary are given by a power that we cannot see. And everything that's outside of that's been given, we possess. And each of us got some part in that possession. And being allowed with freedom to be who we are, engaged, we create enough of the goods, enough of the services to overflow in such an abundance that, hey, there would never be enough. So we just grow and grow and grow, and it overflows and it overflows and it overflows. And what does the overflowing do? The overflowing feeds everybody, everybody, no one. And also, my friends, what it does, it allows the nation to become a light. So those nations in other parts of the world which had not come into this understanding can really understand it now, because right before them, they're just as clearly as they saw what happened with George Floyd. Just as clearly as they saw what happened with George Floyd, let me say that louder. They can see it happening in the change in this nation. And they embrace it, and they loving it. Just like they engaged themselves in what happened with George Floyd, they engage themselves now in change. And they're loving it. And before you know it, ladies and gentlemen, this hell we've been living in would have been changed to heaven. Ain't that something? Now that's something. Only the power of love can take you there. And you'll all know it, because you will experience peace. You will experience freedom. You will experience prosperity. You would experience joy in your lives because you're not stuck in a place. All of the poor people, can you imagine the poor people? People who haven't been able to even leave their communities. People who just been walking and hoping, like Jesse says, keep hope alive. They just been hoping, wondering when that day of change was going to come. And now it comes. Now they have a chance to spread. They don't have the chance to leave Mississippi and go visit Chicago, though they can, and Detroit, though they can, and New York, though they can. But they also can go to London. They can go to Paris. They can go any place on earth that they want to go, any of them, and feel and know that they're somebody, because they are engaged in the process of creating all of the beautiful things that we as Americans and people of the world enjoy in our heavenliness. No longer is there anything called nobody's, because everybody is somebody, and everybody knows it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope I've said something that's been inspirational to someone. Indeed, I can't force you to do anything. I can only lift up a vision, and I hope that it can catch fire and burn like. Until next time, goodbye.